Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone that can hear the sound of my voice, to this week's edition of the Petty and Ill-Informed podcast, where we venture our petty and ill-informed opinions about a variety of topics. Joining me this week is Nikki. Nikki, how are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Yep, pretty good. And I got some more Skull and Bones footage for you, Soflo. You are welcome. Have you had a good week, Nikki?
I have. Yeah, it's been a very chill week at work, even though, I've had some long days. It's been nice.
Very long days.
Mm-hmm. Tis the
Hardly
season.
something about October that just brings out the eye accidents.
October, November, and December, it's not about eye accidents. It's about people meeting their deductible. Therefore, they don't have to pay anything for the surgery. So at the end of the year, they've met their deductible, and then they come in, they don't have to pay anything. And that's the reason why the last 3 months are awful.
Yeah, okay then.
Yeah. Yep.
So I've hardly saw you Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah. Been getting in super late, and the other location has been known to be getting home at like 8, 9 o'clock at night, our time. So glad I'm not there,
Hmm.
because I would punch
Oh,
somebody if I was there that late. I'd be like, really, a 14-hour day?
just straight up punch someone.
Yeah. And then I'd be like, I'm not coming in tomorrow. Cope.
Right.
How about
Well,
you? How was your week?
yeah, my week's all right. I went down a massive rabbit hole the other day.
On what?
Well, I'm getting there.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry.
Well,
I'd hate to engage with you.
yeah, no. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So, basically, as you know, I'm into cryptozoology quite a bit.
Hmm.
I love my cryptids, and there are many cryptids across the world. Most I know about, and some that I don't know about.
Okay.
And this week, I discovered a cryptid I did not know about, and it's a cryptid that more than likely exists as well, which is also pretty fun.
Okay. What is this cryptid?
Well, it's the New Zealand moose.
Okay.
Right, so obviously, a bit of explanation is required here. Um, Basically, New Zealand doesn't have any large mammals or any mammals at all, really, or it didn't used to. That's just the way evolution panned out. It was famously home of the moa birds, but they're all gone. So it was just this big empty place. And for years and years, that's all it was. But in the 1900s, the early 1900s, as in the 1900s themselves,
Hmm.
1900, the New Zealand sports industry decided they were going to turn it into a hunting reserve, and they were planned on introducing a variety of game animals that would be allowed to establish themselves and then, just sell licenses to hunt them.
Okay.
This included red deer, goats, Himalayan animals, all just basically anything they could think of was dropped into New Zealand. And, well, just basically, good luck, lads. Here you go. Here's your new home.
Right.
And the crown jewel of this whole thing was going to be moose, a big, strong animal. Hunters would pay through the nose to come there and shoot them, especially from Australia.
Hmm.
So in the 1900s, 14 animals were moved from Europe to in my Canada, I think Canada or Europe, I forget. Damn it, to New Zealand. There was a big storm, and all but four of them died. Three of them just completely disappeared, never to be heard of again. one hung around in the area. It was released for like for about a decade, and then it was shot for being a nuisance.
Wow.
In the 1920s, they tried again. 4 males, 4 females were released into the New Zealand Fiordlands, which is basically this big swamp area on the western coast of New Zealand. And, left alone for 10 years, because it was in the 1930s. They did a survey and the moose seemed to be doing quite well. So they issued some permits, and a bloke named Eddie Harriet shot one in 36 and again in 38.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the same time it was happening, red deer was sort of taking over New Zealand, because they're generalist feeders and moose are specialists. The red deer had a much better chance of establishing themselves because they could eat everything and anything. So they were flooding into the Fiordlands and all over New Zealand, and the moose couldn't compete. And it was believed, that Eddie had shot the last of the moose and that they had gone extinct sometime in the 40s.
Mm-hmm.
Then another hunter shot one in 58. And they found a dead one that had died of natural causes in a dam, in a log jam in the water. So they were like, oh, what's going on here? So surveys were sent into New Zealand to look for moose, but they couldn't find much evidence. And it was considered that that was the last one shot. However, there were rumors from hunters. Yeah, confirmed shot. That's the last known evidence of moose in New Zealand in 58, Gabby. And that's considered to be the last of the moose. But there were rumors from hunters that had seen them or shot them. No, there's a picture. There's a picture, and the body was harvested, Gabby. And these hunters would tell tales of seeing moose in the bush, enough to spark the New Zealand government into action. And in the 1970s, they sent a team into the Fiordlands to investigate signs of moose. Now, this team did not find any living animals, but they found an antler, moose footprints, and various other things pointing to the moose still being there. And they kept going back. There hasn't been another photo of a moose since the 50s, but in the 90s, they found DNA evidence on bedding of moose.
On bedding?
Yeah, moose lie down to sleep.
Yeah.
So they found bedding, they found fur. It was DNA test confirmed. Now you think DNA would be enough to say, well, hang on a minute, there's moose still here. But apparently not. Now, the team were kept going back, but they were the only ones interested, because they were like seriously interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
But they were the only ones doing it, and eventually they just got too old to keep going out for it. But they kept recording sightings reports. Now, the last quote unquote credible sighting of a moose came from a helicopter pilot who was surveying red deer populations, and he saw one in a clearing in 2020.
So they're not really a cryptid. It's just you don't know whether or not they still exist there.
The exact definition of a cryptid is an animal that may or may not exist. Basically,
got you. Okay. Yeah. All right.
So the moose loosely fits that definition. But but it's interesting. But while the red deer were out competing them, this is the really interesting part that really intrigued me. The red deer were like dominating New Zealand, but and they were out competing the moose in every shape and form. But in the 70s, I believe, or it might have been in the early 80s, New Zealand decided, well, they developed this new industry that basically no one else had done, which was helicopter hunting, farming deer. The venison industry had taken off and prices were booming. So
Mhm.
basically, they decimated the red deer population, which is perfectly fine because red deer aren't meant to be there in the first place.
Right.
So if there were any moose left during that time, they would have been able to hang on because basically, in a few years, 90% of the deer population had been wiped out, basically. And there's reports of the forests going from being depleted to being like primeval and all foresty again,
Mhm.
which would have created plenty of food sources for the surviving moose and allowed them to hang on. Now, there's a bloke named Ken Trush who's been studying this. He's got a trail cam photo from 2001, I believe, that he says is a moose. It's it's a fucking cryptid
Trail
photo.
cam. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
blurry, but it doesn't look like a deer. In his defense, the picture's copyrighted, so I can't show it. But they did find DNA evidence in the 90s, which means the moose could have survived up to there. Red deer populations bounced back when they abandoned helicopter hunting for for deer domestication to provide more steady, easier to manage supply of venison. But the moose would have been able to establish themselves by them, and they've got a couple of small advantages over deer. They're bigger, obviously, so they can reach more foodstuffs than the deer can, and they
Mhm.
can eat different food than the deer because their mouths are all suctiony, but they can't graze like deer do. They're
Right.
specialists, not generalists. But it's entirely possible that there might be a couple of moose left in New Zealand, which, it's not Bigfoot. Don't get me wrong. It's not a new weird animal that nobody's ever heard of, but it is interesting
It is,
that
absolutely.
an animal as large as a moose could be living in New Zealand completely undetected.
I mean, when you think about how large the planet is anyway, like, I understand we mostly see it as
Yeah.
being small, but I mean, we still haven't discovered, we're constantly discovering new species of things that
Yeah.
we didn't know
And not
existed. And
always small things neither. I mean, they found that giant forest rat not that long ago.
right.
And that was a cryptid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those ROUSs.
Well, yeah, it was an ROUS.
It was. A
But yeah,
rodent with
that's a rabbit
unusual
hole
style.
I went down this week.
That's
The
nice.
New Zealand moose, a possible animal that may possibly exist.
I like that. I've learned something new.
Hmm.
Alrighty.
So you want some news, eh?
Yeah.
All right. I'll just switch off the old gameplay footage and give you a news story then. Our first story. What is going on? Share screen.
While you do
No.
that, I think it's hilarious how back in the day they would just willy nilly take something out of their ecosystem, throw it into another one, and be like, let's see what happens. Like, this
Yeah.
will be fine.
Yeah. It's there's lots of animals. Rabbits are the number one species. that have been transplanted pretty much all over the world.
Yeah,
They're
and
not
then
native to England. They're not native to Australia. They're not native to loads of places, but they're there.
that's because, some people will get them in and realize that, you know, they're kind of shit to have as a pet, and then they just dump them in the nearest park.
Rabbits, I think, was European settlers brought rabbits to Australia because they're easy to kill and they're good eating, and
Ooh, yeah.
not a lot going on of that in Australia. I don't. I'm not. I've heard tell that kangaroos are tasty, but
I've had
killing them
kangaroo. Kangaroo's good.
are not exactly easy to kill. And
Well, I mean, like not in hand-to-hand combat, but I think you
no,
could do it with a gun pretty easy.
yeah, that's what boomerangs were designed for. They were designed for hunting animals like kangaroos. They're not designed to come back because they'll be sticking in something's rib cage. But
Right.
there's an interesting thing.
I wonder why we have this thought that they're supposed to come back.
It's the way they go, isn't it? Like if you can make a boomerang come back.
Yeah, the
I've
way you
seen
throw it.
Yeah, if you throw it hard enough, it will come back, or at least try to come back. But I don't know. Toy boomerangs, just like one of those, something all kids had. Lots of kids. I had a toy boomerang anyway.
I did too. Yeah.
But
All right.
rabbits. Yeah, there's all sorts of animals that are where they shouldn't be.
Correct.
Right, yeah, so police in Derbyshire solved mystery of crocodile found in canal. Na 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 na.
Oh, look at how cute him is.
That's obviously dead as well.
He's a cute crocodile.
So basically, someone threw away a taxidermied crocodile, and it floated down the canal. And don't ask me how. Somebody hooked it while fishing. And can you imagine? Because you wouldn't know it was dead at first. You'd just be
Right?
reeling it in, and then this crocodile just comes up, and you're like, "Shit!"
Yeah, see, that's where I would be like, well, this fishing pole belongs to you, crocodile. I would just drop it. Like,
Just drop it.
would you even think to reel it in once you reeled it in? Unless you just realized it's way lighter than what a croc of this size. Like, is it small or is it like a full size croc?
No, it's pretty
It looks
small.
pretty small. Okay,
That's a
never mind.
thistle that it's sitting on, and
Mhm.
thistle plants do get pretty big, about as big as my leg from below my knee to my foot. So that's a good size thing right there.
Right. Like, if it's kind of small or whatever, I'd be like, I'd reel it
Yeah,
in. But
yeah, but
if
still,
it was huge, I'd be like, nope. Yeah, that's got to be hilarious. So did it say what their reaction was?
it just says I can imagine it gave him a bit of a shock. Which is the most British thing ever.
That is so British. It gave him a bit of a shock. That's it.
It's not even like there were obviously, during the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle craze, speaking of animals where they don't belong, a lot of people bought turtles
Mm.
and didn't want them. So there are a lot of wild turtles living in England. They can't breed because it doesn't get warm enough, but they can survive. And there's lots of them, and they live for about 100 years. So
Yeah, I know.
if
I'd
climate
probably
change
get
carries
some
on and we have another super hot summer, they might, successfully brood and breed eggs. But that's like small terrapins, like the turtles you get in your ponds over there.
Yeah.
there were larger ones released, the snapping turtles. An alligator snapping turtle was caught in a tarn not too far away from me by a fisherman. It was a small one. You know how big they get.
Yeah, I was about to say, did he learn his lesson, or are you guys pretty smart on the ways of snapping turtles?
Well,
Like, are
people
they
knew it was
prevalent enough? You guys know
yeah.
what they
No,
are. Okay.
no, he didn't know what it was. People knew it was in there
Right.
because they were, well, kind of. It was a cryptid kind of. You know, fishermen would tell of like this a big turtle attacking their keep nets to get at the fish inside.
Mm-hmm.
So people knew it was in there, kind of, but I don't
But
think
they
he
didn't
knew
know
it
it
was
was
a
a snapping
napping
turtle.
turtle. No.
If you don't know, whoever's listening, snapping turtles, they can break bones. Like, you don't, like, if you see a snapping turtle in the middle of the road, get a large stick or branch to move them, or give them a little kicky kick scoot, but real quick, like, because you don't want them to bite you, and their reach is ridiculous. The only safe way to pick up a snapping turtle is to not do it, but if you get it near the butt enough, they're okay. But you don't want them to get a hold of your finger. They will break it. If they're anything like our snapping turtles, they're freaking vicious.
It was an alligator snapping turtle, so it was your snapping turtle.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't think you get those in Tennessee. They're in Louisiana. You get loggerheads in Tennessee, though, don't you?
I don't know what turtles we have, but I've lived a bunch of places, and I know we have snapping turtles here that you don't mess with. Yeah,
Yeah, the big ones.
yeah. You just don't. Now, if you get a boxer turtle, those are great. I love a good boxer, and it's very hard for me not to take one home. But I realize that they are a lifetime of responsibility. So not necessarily a pet you want to give your kid unless they're just super into turtles. And you think that they're going to love them until they die, quite literally. Because if you take care of a turtle, they're not dying anytime soon.
I did check my messages, Gabby. I've seen the pictures of the turtle, of the crocodile. I'm just bringing them up now. But we were talking about something else.
Oh, Gabby's got pictures of the crocodile that was found.
Yeah.
Great.
So there you can see the size of it.
Oh.
See, it's holding it right up next to his arm as well, so it's not a forced perspective picture.
Yeah. Yeah. I would have dragged it up if it didn't seem to be moving and whatever. It would depend on how ballsy I was feeling that day, if I'm being honest. It could range between just go ahead.
Well, yeah, but like in America, like an alligator, or in Florida, a crocodile, even you'd expect to see.
Right.
But in England, in Derbyshire, which is right smack in the middle of England and gets really cold, no, you wouldn't expect to see a bloody crocodile.
What a great story at the pub or something, like, go tell your friends, I found a crocodile.
All right, so this next story might give you a bit of a giggle. Indian man stages his own funeral just to see who cares.
That's beautiful.
A 74-year-old man from Bihar, India, faked his own death and staged a funeral just to see how many people would attend. I respect the pettiness.
Right. I also respect that he's in his 70s, so he needs to know who to put in the will. You know what I'm saying? I get it. I understand the game.
Hundreds reported attended the event, many of them emotional, as coffin was carried toward the crematorium. But just before the final rites, Lau suddenly sat up, shocking the mourners.
Surprise!
Fooled you, April Fools!
It's December, Dad. That's hilarious.
Yeah, well, you couldn't expect me to wait 4 months thinking of this brilliant one, could you? Explaining his bizarre decision, Lau said he wanted to witness how much affection and respect people had for him while he was still alive. After death, people carry the beer, but I wanted to witness it myself and know how much affection people give me, he said. He added that people often fail to check on others while they're alive, but shed tears once they're gone, and hope to remind others that love and respect for the living matter more than mourning the dead. Yeah, there's no way to justify that. Was really fucked up.
That's my kind of twisted grandpa. You know, like, what kind of person is he? Either
Well known
he's
in his community for his social work, using his own funds, he previously built a crematorium in the village to ensure funeral services could continue even during the rainy season. He has 2 sons and a daughter, and his wife passed away 14 years ago.
I'm just wondering if he just doesn't have like sure, but also like sure he wanted to see who would be there or whatever, but also maybe he just wanted to mess with some people, like
Yeah.
let me live to be like in my 80s and I'll just pretend to be dead like every day just to freak out my well, I'm not going to have grandkids, just to freak out my caretakers, unplug like a monitor here and there. Why not? Why not just fake your death and then before you get put in the ground be like, ta-da!
Fooled you.
I was alive the whole time.
Your face. Talk about red. I really got you good, didn't I?
Right. Just
Yeah,
point at one of the
morons.
women. Look at you crying like a little bitch. Boo hoo hoo hoo. I'm still alive. Such an idiot. How could you fall for that? Well, I hope you guys all understand how much you appreciate me now.
I respect the pettiness, like I said.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm done. Yeah, did he collect his insurance?
No, he didn't collect his life insurance.
Hmm.
But he just did it for attention, literally.
That's beautiful. Love it. Looks. Could you imagine? Because I don't know if it's a thing in the UK, but in America, they always like put makeup and stuff on the dead person, and it's like obligatory that your family and friends come in and tell you how good they look, and they really look like someone layered colored wax onto their face,
Hmm.
and it always
Yes.
looks horrible. Yeah. Like, could you imagine all of those friends being like, no, really, like it looks like he's still here with us.
God damn, babe.
And he had to hold a straight face, like
You fools.
there's no makeup on my face. I'm just alive.
I'm still alive, you fools. How'd you feel now? Ooh, he's dead. Ooh, oh, we're gonna miss him. Ah, you dumbasses.
Uh,
Yes. Beautiful.
we just went to the place only when I go to privately.
We said the quiet part out loud.
That's right.
But yes, that is the story of an Indian man who staged his own funeral just to see who would show up. And again, I respect it. I respect the pettiness. Right now, this one's definitely going to make you giggle. Or throw up. I don't know. One of those two. I just read the fucking title again. Okay. Meet the Nutmaxers obsessed with shooting bigger loads.
Yeah. Are these, hold on, before you go into telling me what it is, are
Yeah.
these the guys that like will abstain from sex or masturbation for a long time to like save it up? That way, when they do splooge, it's more.
No,
Oh, okay.
they juice. They're juicing.
Are they juicing jizz?
They're juicing. Okay, they're using a combination of zinc, pygium, L-citrulline, and lecithin to make the holy grail of cum. That's literally what's written here.
Mm.
This is
Okay.
Redditors r/cum bigger loads.
Wow. Now, there are so many things. Zinc is always a good thing to take, y'all. Just FYI. L-theanine, but so okay, so does it explain like what they think this is for?
Well, I'm getting there. Okay, these.
Why you keep getting these attitudes with me all since we started the show? I'm getting there.
I'm
I'm
getting
trying
there.
to talk about it.
I'm trying to give the story. All right.
Sorry.
So these men have been turned into citizen jizz scientists. Okay. So let's go. So Mike, 27, began trying to increase the size of his ejaculations in 2021 after seeing an ad for Seminex pills on a porn site. Quarantined with his college girlfriend in her parents' beach house, there wasn't much to do but have sex. Sounds like a fun quarantine.
Touche, for real.
Yeah. Mike struggled to keep up with her libido and desire to be ejaculated upon.
I feel drained. I feel exhausted. I feel like I can't satisfy this girl. Do you think it's not much is coming out after once or twice a day? Do you think it was just like after a while, just like that's all you heard was just a little puff of air,
Just
a little spritz of white powder, like the tip of the penis coughed or something?
So he turned to supplements. He started juicing. I was experimenting with just different stacks combinations of supplements I would read about on Reddit. Jesus.
Oh, that was his first.
Reddit,
That was his
man.
first problem. First
Yeah.
mistake.
Marcus, a nurse practitioner from North Carolina, has experimented with many stacks he learned about on r/cum bigger loads. He has grown comfortable enough in the subreddit to ejaculate into a graduated shot class and share photos with it of his peers there.
Okay,
like-
that's just pulling people into your own fetish without their consent. Like, hey guys, look at my cum.
I like the community, says Marcus. No, these are proper Reddit nerds. It's not going to be sharing a fetish. They're not going to care about the fetish.
You're right.
They're
You're
going to
right.
argue over what's working and what isn't on Reddit. The biggest
You're right.
debate currently is on the dosing of the supplements needed to get results. All manner of niche sexual interests sexual interests have found a home on Reddit, but the prevalence of podcast episodes and YouTube videos devoted to ejaculating more suggests that this particularly concern is becoming mainstream. Andrew Huberman
I'm listening.
has recommended vitamin D, magnesium, zinc, omega-3, CoQ10.
CoQ10. CoQ10 is how you say
It's
that.
it's cock. It's COQ. It's cock. CoQ10, Tongkat, Ali, and boron. Isn't boron
Okay,
a heavy metal?
everything except for the last two, those are just that's just a really that's just maintenance that you should be taking as a human being. Vitamin D, magnesium, zinc, and omega-3. CoQ10 is also great to have.
Right.
I'm just saying. Just that should be what you're taking anyway. Just go take a male vitamin.
Dr. Malik recommends hydration, not smoking, extending foreplay, and waiting longer. Tommy Lee recommended pineapple juice and celery.
Okay, so the pineapple juice and celery is actually about flavor more than I would imagine than amount. That's just you being nice to your girlfriend or boyfriend.
There is certainly a lot of interest in ejaculate volume, said Dr. Michael Eisenberg. Have I just been doing sex wrong?
My thing is like how much is this generation masturbating that they're worried about their like their amount of semen? Because first of all, the semen's a small amount anyway. Ejaculate, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
whatever. It's like what, a couple teaspoons or something. Like it's not a huge amount whenever it's a huge amount. So I'm just wondering how often these guys are masturbating. Like I get it. You got a girlfriend, you're doing it several times a day for weeks and weeks at a time. Yeah. Do you just need to wait for a couple days, let that crap, know, give it a rest.
That stuff pool.
Like I'm almost positive. I would bet you that a good amount of the people on r slash on bigger loads or whatever it is.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, I,
Don't act like you're not already on the site.
I would imagine most of them. Yes, I'm really worried about ejaculation.
Can
I
I
think
squirt further?
that how to squirt more. Um, no, I think that probably a lot of those guys are by themselves. So I'm like, how much porn and how much masturbation are they engaging in that they're worried about the volume of their ejaculate? You know what I'm saying? Like, because did you worry about it when you were a teenager? Were you ever like, damn, I'm just not coming like I used to?
I didn't have sex until I was 20, so.
Well, but I'm sure that you masturbated before then, like a
Oh,
lot,
yeah.
as
Oh, yeah.
boys do.
You couldn't pay me to go through puberty again. Like $10 million, go through puberty again. Nah, I'm good.
I would take that bet.
You would what? You'd take 10 million to go. Well, it's not the same for girls as it is
Yes,
for boys.
absolutely not always. No. I mean, we have our own hormonal issues that we have to go through.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying you've got it easier or harder.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same. Like boys at a certain age, just anything that looks like it's slightly fuckable becomes
Yes,
an
yes.
object for intercourse. And I get that because women, I mean, some women are like that though. That's why some women have, had to go to the hospital because they have things inside of them that they're not supposed to. So, I mean, I guess it just depends on the person. But anyway, I'm just curious, like, why these guys are so worried about the volume of their of their ejaculate.
Well, I mean, they always do it a lot in porn, don't they?
They do. They do. They're always doing it. But what they don't show you, and what you can look up, I think on most porn sites, you can actually look up bloopers in porns, and you will see that those guys, like sometimes you have someone come and do the money shot that isn't the guy that was in the porno. And then sometimes, like I've seen one where they're sitting there, she's waiting to take the money shot, and then she gets up and goes and gets a sandwich and then sits back down after eating lunch, and he's still jacking it trying to get something to happen. So guys don't realize that sometimes there's fake cum involved. There's a different dick entirely. So stop it. If you're having sex a lot or you're masturbating a lot multiple times a day and you don't have as much volume, don't worry about it. Give it a little breaky break. If you're really that worried about it, go see your doctor. Don't ask credit.
That's literally the last thing I'm worried about.
Yeah. Well, I think that this rings of Gen Z, Gen Alpha, right? Because I would think that millennials and X and beyond are past that point in their life. I don't see a normal 40-year-old man being like, how to come more. Like, nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Well,
He's
I'd like
probably
to
just
get to
happy
that
to get it
stage.
up. Right.
That's
Yeah.
all.
Right. He's probably happy to get it up or be able to finish or whatever. Because as a man, when you hit 40, shit starts working different, you know? Same with
Yep.
women. I
Yep.
could see Gabby said the bet is it's conservative Christian boys. I can see that.
Yeah. Yeah, your repression and stuff
Yeah.
plays a part.
Yeah. And, it sounds like the poop hole loophole thing going on too. She
The
wants you to
poop
jizz all
hole
over her.
loophole.
Yeah, the poop hole
What
loophole.
what is that?
When you're a conservative Christian, you're not allowed to have sex with your boyfriend and or girlfriend. Um, you're not taking their virginity if you do anal. The poop hole loophole. Can you
Yeah,
imagine? There's an entire generation of boys whose first time was anal sex, and they're not gay.
what is wrong with oral?
It's not intercourse. It's not it's not intercourse.
What?
Right. Richard does have zero retention. I'll tell him something, he'll be like, "You never told me that." Yeah, I did. Like, but I just pretend like I've never told him before. But we have had this conversation many times. Yes.
Well, actually, maybe because I just want the show to be flowing. I'm pretending like I've never heard it before.
Oh, so do I need to tell you to calm down and I'll explain it? Like,
You did need to calm down. All right, you have been acting with this attitude all show today, and I am not here for it.
all right. You'll just be missing me, not being here, and you get nice peace with Phil or Chris or Tom.
No one could replace you. Don't be silly.
That's true. But I said that they're more peaceful than me.
Well, don't. No. I like a good conversation with you, as you are aware.
What? Is this New World?
No, this is Skull and
Valheim?
Bone.
Skull and Bones. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
said that at the beginning. You said
Yeah,
that
oh,
for
right, I've got
SoFlo.
zero retention.
It's for
I
SoFlo.
literally
Listen.
said that like less than an hour ago. Okay, and giving me the attitude again. See what I mean? I'm in an
Mhm.
abusive relationship right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody feels horrible for you.
they should. But
All
no,
right.
I would
Got
not
it.
inflict a new world on to the audience. It's not a very fun game to watch. Okay, so for our final story, customers sue sneaker company over shoes that cause noisy and embarrassing squeak.
Okay. They're on clouds. Okay.
Customers of the athletic shoe company On have filed a class action lawsuit alleging that some of the brand's sneakers squeak embarrassingly loud when they walk. This is a real lawsuit that's really happening. Every new pair of new shoes I've ever owned have squeaked at first. Okay, especially on hard surfaces, and that's every single one from when I was a kid to an adult. When they're brand new, they squeak.
Okay, first of all, America is very litigious, as you can see.
Yeah,
Secondly, let me clarify by just saying that there's some nurses that are going to be really upset because most of who I see wearing On Cloud is like the same demographic of people who are wearing Hokas, and they're nurses. They're all healthcare workers. So I can't imagine being in like, my new sneakers, my new On Clouds, and it's like 2 a.m. and it's
right.
just squeaking. Yes, I call them sneakers. They're sneakers or tennis shoes.
The trainers, but whatever. Um, the class action suit filed in a U.S. District Court in Portland, that's in Oregon, where
Mhm, mhm.
On's US headquarters is located on October 9th, targets On shoes made with Cloud Tech, end quote, technology, a hallmark of many of the brand's styles. Cloud Tech, end quote, is composed of differently shaped holes that cover the external and bottom surfaces of the shoes, according to the lawsuit. At least 11 of On sneaker styles are referenced in the lawsuit, including the Cloud 5, Cloud 6, Cloud Monster, and Cloud Runner, among others. How, how far are we going to stretch the cloud thing at
All
this
the
point?
clouds. I mean,
Uh,
their sneakers are called On Clouds.
I've read the bloody word too many times, it's lost meaning.
Oh no.
It looks spelled stupid now. I hate it when. Lawyers for the plaintiffs did not immediately respond to request for comment. A representative for On said the company does not comment on ongoing legal matters. According to the lawsuit, Cloud Tech was created to provide cushion support when wearers land. But according to plaintiffs, the technology rubs together when wearers walk or run, causing a noisy and embarrassing squeak.
That's hilarious. I don't
The
know.
lawsuit,
Go ahead.
however, admits that while the squeaky shoes are seemingly inconsequential, the company has allegedly refused to provide refunds to those who are unhappy with their sneakers, leaving customers with no relief after buying almost $200 shoes that they can no longer wear without their doing significant DIY modifications to the shoe.
Wow.
No reasonable defendant would purchase the shoes or pay much for them as they did, knowing each step creates an audible and noticeable squeak. Nurses and those who are on their feet all day bear the brunt of this defect, the suit argues, which allegedly causes issues for consumers in their daily lives.
Booyah. You don't want to
Yeah.
be walking through the ER at 2 o'clock in the morning. Your patients are trying to sleep, and you're like, eat, 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 eat every step you take. Ah,
According to the lawsuit, complaints about the squeaking have been widespread and documented on TikTok and Reddit, where customers shared DIY remedies for the noisy shoes, including rubber coconut oil on the soles or sprinkling baby powder inside the sneaker. Inside? How does that help?
I don't know.
All right. The law also alleges that the company can better make its projects to avoid squeakiness. but that On has done nothing to remedy the squeaks. This is just absolutely dumb. Plaintiffs allege they have suffered an ascertainable loss due to fraudulent business practices, a deceptive marketing scheme, and are seeking compensatory, statutory, and punitive damages, as well as refunds on their squeaky sneakers.
So what how they're saying that they couldn't get a refund on their sneakers after they bought them. Like
Squeaky sneakers.
their squeaky sneakers after they bought them. And like I think you have so many days to return them, right? Like I would just assume you do. At any rate, I could see where it'd be annoying, but I would be the DIY kind of girl instead of the, oh, I need to sue because how dare you make my life a little bit more inconvenient. Like, despite the squeaking, do your feet feel okay at the end of the day? Slap some duct tape on it, you'll be fine. Like, come on. That being said, I will say on cloud sneakers are expensive, just like Hoka's are expensive. You're talking about close to $200 and probably over $200 when you count tax and everything for a pair of shoes. So the least they could do is,
Not make them squeak.
discontinue the shoe if they're not going to fix them, or
Take the mouse out.
or give those people a freaking refund. I mean, my Hokas will squeak if I'm coming into work from outside and it's been raining, but they
Right.
only squeak for like the first little bit until they're dry, but it's very annoying when they squeak. I wouldn't want to hear it all day. I would definitely not be wearing them until I got them fixed. So I get it, I guess.
Nikki kind of gets it. And she's
I
like,
just, like I said, we're very litigious in America, so you know that's
yeah.
that's lawsuit um material, I guess. I call Bolshevik, but
I think, yeah, no, I'm with you. I think that's not a reason to sue for
mm-mm.
squeaky shoes. I mean,
Right,
it's fixable, isn't it? So who ultimately cares?
right. And I feel like if you didn't wear them and get them returned back in enough time, then maybe that's also just a you problem. Like I can't tell you how many things I wanted to return that I forgot to or didn't, and I just suck it up and deal with it and get rid of it some other way.
Yeah.
I'm not suing the company for not letting me return something after 30 days or whatever it is.
Yeah, I feel like some things should be lawsuits, some things shouldn't, and that shouldn't be a lawsuit.
I agree.
All right.
What-
Finally, Gabby found some stick figures she did from back in the
Nice.
day, and she wanted me to share them. I can't show the one about Chris because it'll get us banned off YouTube. But this is Steve Alcorn that she did.
Nice.
That's Matt Knapp.
Okay.
That's Phil,
I
and that's me.
love it. That's great.
And there you go. Fan art has been shown. I think that'll wrap us up, won't it?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Well, that'll wrap us up for this week. We will return next week. Despite the hopes of many, it's good night from me and it's good night from Nikki. Good night, everyone.
Good night.